What is up, you guys? Welcome back to your channel. This war video is going to be a little bit different than my other war videos just because I'm taking path 1, which I haven't taken in I don't know, probably 2 or 3 months. I'm not even sure I've ever taken it, but we're gonna start off with the Killmonger. You guys know I'm usually taking path 7 and sometimes 8 or 9, but primarily it's almost always path 7. And so I'm going in with Ghost with the Wasp synergy, and yeah, kind of took a gamble there because with taking Ghost, just because I wasn't really sure if I was going to get to the special 2 before the reverberation was up, but luckily I did. Then this next fight, I just let someone else take it because of the limber. I just didn't want to really mess too much with it because Thing's heavy attack is I think it's 3 hits. It's either 3 or 4 hits. But some of the hits come in quick succession, so it can get a little bit tricky, so I just let somebody else take it. Especially with Limber. Limber would just make it a little bit worse. If it didn't have Limber, I wouldn't mind too much, but yeah. So this next fight, I'm going to be taking this with Quake. And that'll be it for my section 1, and then we'll move on to section 2. But yeah, it's just a thing, and I believe it's aggression armor and explosive personality. That's what it was. So those are the only 2 nodes we gotta worry about, but because we're running Quake, don't have to worry about it in the end. And so yeah, this fight pretty easy, pretty cake. I think we do end up losing quite a bit of damage because of just not having our parry on. We just weren't timing our parries right, so we weren't getting parries, and instead we're just getting hits to the block, which is not good. And I think for this season of Alliance War, I think a lot of people are going to pick up Siphon. I think it's probably going to receive a nerf like the Evade did, because I believe it was at 5% and now it's down to 3%. I think that's what it was for last season, 3% Evade for small characters, and now we got Siphon for villains. So yeah, I think it might get a nerf. I'm not completely sure, just because the damage that you get through block is just kind of absurd, and I had to play really well like stun immune in order to not like just die to block damage, which I think is pretty ridiculous. And now we're going up to a Annihilus, and we're gonna take this with Quake. It's Vigor, Indomitable, and of course Siphon, which again, not the best mechanic, man. Crit through block, block penetration. It's not crit through block, it's just block penetration. Just if you block too much, yeah, it kind of like, because Quake is pretty good as long as you can parry. Like actually, she's like pretty amazing actually if you can parry, but if you introduce a node which says don't parry or else you take a lot of damage, yeah, Quake starts to lose some value. I got hit there, it just messed up my timing, but I gotta play stun immune because as you can see there on the right side, with the shield, it's like a parry icon, but in red instead, or like I don't know, like they made it like a passive debuff icon. But yeah, it can stack I believe up to 3 times, which makes it even more dangerous. And so yeah, I gotta play really nice, or else I'll just eat it. But yeah, I took a huge chunk of damage because of Siphon. And I actually I talked to Legacy and I was like, yo Lags, this Siphon node is stupid. And he was like, oh dude, that's why I was losing so much damage, or that's why I was taking so much damage. Like, yeah dude, like read the global, like it's a lot of block penetration. It's at first like 1500, like because we don't really know what that means, like it sounds like an arbitrary number, like these ratings have been in the game for quite a bit, and we still don't know what like they mean. We like rather look at percents, because percents it's a lot easier to relate to, because out of 1, just yeah. And this fight, this sucked because I read the note, I didn't use a tech boost, and yeah, it didn't really go my way, obviously, but I didn't think the region was going to be that crazy. And so my first SP2, and I take off like close to half of his health, but whenever I want to bait an SP1, he heals to full health. I'm like, really, dude? This is the kind of heal on this node? And then I played bad towards the end of it. As you can see, I'm getting hit and stuff. But yeah, he's healing for 68,000 health. So I throw my second SP2, which normally would have killed by now if there was no kind of regen on this. But yeah, now I'm kind of stuck here, and I can't like block the SP1 really, because if he gets to full analysis, then I'll get an armor break, and yeah, a ghost with an armor break is not a happy ghost. So yeah, it's just we stay at full health, and eventually we just die, and just like, dude, I'm getting nowhere. I got recoil on, so it's just, yeah, I'm just not making it. Just eventually just kind of like give up and die, and just like whatever. So there we go, give a death. In hindsight, we should have just like force quit. We would lose half our health, but we wouldn't have to heal up as much if we need ghosts in the future, or we wouldn't need to use a revive as well. So in the end, just go in with Quake, and the first thing I'm going to do is activate dexterity, so that whenever a buffet is up, I won't have to worry about buffet again. And yeah, kind of have to be pretty conservative with my parries because of that block penetration. I lost about, I believe, 6-7% from suicides, so keep that in mind. And I can't hit him while he's like stunned or anything, just because I want to keep that dexterity buff on me, because I want to be dexterity in the wall and playing stun immune. And whenever I go for parries, I gotta make sure that he doesn't have the block penetration debuff on him. But I think even without it, I think even the first hit is landing some block penetration, which should be a bug, honestly. Yeah, it just took like 4% damage on a parry, so I think that shouldn't work that way, because you should only get the block penetration after a hit lands, and it's, yeah, basically on every hit. They just always have block penetration, which is pretty nasty. Somebody else took that Killmonger, and last up is this Mephisto with triple power gain. So it looks like somebody already tried to take a bite out of him, but it didn't go his way, obviously. So we're just gonna heal up a little bit. It's only half, so he only has about half his health left, so I'm not really too worried about it. But again, this block penetration global is really stupid. I really don't agree with it. I don't know who at the Kabam office said, yeah, let's just give all villains block penetration, because that's an awesome node, that's an awesome ability. So yeah, we're probably gonna see a lot of item use going forward. So alright, and we're almost done with him, and as you can see, he has that unfazed mastery, and we gotta play stun immune because blocks just do so much damage. But yeah, that is my lane, and we do have a Doom boss. I revived Ghost. I just put in a little bit of health, I believe, just enough so I can get 2 L2s. I did mess up this fight though, but I do think, like, if you have, like, let's say, I don't know, 20, I want to say like 20% health, you could probably solo this with Ghost. The thing is, I messed up for this fight. I was thinking, hey, if I can land 3 SP2s, I'll be fine. And yeah, that would be really solid. But yeah, I messed up where he kind of walked in and did 2 light attacks, and yeah, it really screwed me over. So land my first SP2, evade, or actually I just phased the SP1, and yeah, I just gotta be careful not to get hits. And also I can only really land 1 hit, or I have to make sure after I land any hits, and if I have dexterity, that I phase so to get rid of the shock. But yeah, that's my death, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this ward video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.